Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. We weren't able to head into the parks this weekend because they have been really busy. Today they actually had capacity, so unfortunately I didn't get to go try any of the snacks this weekend. So instead I'm going to be trying a recipe from Universal Orlando's blog for their mini pumpkin donuts that are typically served at Halloween Horror Nights. Lauren here because I forgot to mention this earlier. I will be putting the link to the recipe from Universal Orlando's blog down in the description below as well. You will need a couple things for this recipe. You can get them at Walmart, Publix, Winn-Dixie, whatever your little grocery store is. So you'll need some sugar, flour, salt, baking powder, pumpkin spice, vegetable oil, nutmeg, butter. It's supposed to be unsalted, but I just got regular butter. 2 eggs, milk, which I'll take out when we need it, green icing, and then I also got these really cute like Halloween sprinkles. A big mixing bowl, 1 cup or 1/4 cup of a dry measuring cup, and then 1 teaspoon of a dry measuring cup as well. So I did forget to mention earlier that you would also need a whisk or a mixer, a pot that you can heat up the oil to fry the donuts in, and then saran wrap as well. And then you'll also need like a little cookie cutter to cut the holes in the middle of the donut in. I don't have one, so I'm just gonna use a knife and hopefully cut an okay circle in the middle. The recipe says, in a large mixing bowl, mix sugar, baking powder, pumpkin spice, salt, and nutmeg together. So for the sugar, it is 1 cup of sugar. And I'm using 1/4, so I'll have to use 4 of these. By the way, this recipe makes 24 mini donuts. So if you want to make half that, I would use half the recipe. So 4 cups of sugar. You need 4 teaspoons of baking powder. 1/4 cup of pumpkin spice. And then salt, which is 1.5 teaspoons. So another thing you'll need is a whisk. So grab your whisk, mix all that in. Be careful because it does have like that powder that comes up. And then add eggs. So remember, it's 2 eggs, so you add both eggs. Milk, which the milk was 1 cup. There's a liquid measuring cup for this. Alright, and then 1 cup butter. So I did go ahead and rinse out the measuring cup that I used for the milk. And then I'm just gonna kind of take spoons of this and fill this up. There is better ways to do this, obviously, and if you get the stick butter on the sides of like the wrapping paper, it actually shows you how much of the butter would be a cup. So it'll say like 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 1/2, all of that. So I think that's good. I'm gonna put it in the microwave for about 15 seconds and melt it and see if it equals to 1 cup. While the butter is melting, I am gonna go ahead and stir this a little bit because I did already add the milk and the egg. And I just pulled the butter out of the microwave. It is perfectly 1 cup. So I'm gonna add that in as well. Alright, so I think that's good. So we're gonna go in with the flour. You're gonna do 4 cups of flour. And then whisk again. And remember, this is 1/4, so I'm gonna have to do 16 of these. Now we're going to whisk until it's blended well. I highly recommend wearing a shirt that you don't really care about because this is gonna get messy. This is gonna take way too long to hand whisk. So I'm actually gonna pull out the mixer that I have. That just flew over. All right, so that looks pretty decent. Oh, I'm sorry, it was supposed to be 3 cups the first time. So 3 cups of flour, beat until blended, and then 1 more cup of flour, and then beat well. So you still add 4 cups of flour in total. I did 2 and then 2 really, so I think it's fine. So this should cause the dough to be soft and sticky but firm enough to handle. If you feel it's necessary, add up to ½ cup more flour. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and keep mixing them and see if I can get it a little bit more firm before we add another cup of flour. All right, I think that that's nice and firm and sticky, so I'm not gonna add the extra 1/2 or 1/4 of flour. So you're gonna cover it in plastic wrap and chill for at least 1 hour. Alexa, set timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
So it's been about 1 hour and 15 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the dough out. I did forget to put nutmeg in it earlier. I realized it after about 10 minutes, so I did go back and add it in. It was only about ½ teaspoon of nutmeg, but it should be mixed in as you're mixing the spices. It is a nice, thick dough consistency, and it smells amazing. So I'm gonna push that to the side. All right, so now we're gonna take our pot, and I'm gonna fill it with about 1 inch of vegetable oil. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on the stove and heat it on medium. I would actually say put it on medium-low because we do still have to shape the donuts and you don't want the oil to get too hot. I want to take some sort of surface. I'm using a cutting board and put flour on it. It's just so that the dough doesn't stick. I'm going to put some extra on my hands. So you're going to take the dough and put it on the surface. The dough at a time, roll it out onto a floured surface to about 1/2 inch thickness. Cut out circles using a mini donut cutter or a small biscuit or cookie cutter. Really anything that can give you a mini donut shape. So I was going to use this cup, and I think that's going to be too big. So funny enough, I'm using my wine glass. So I'm just, I think it's a nice small shape compared to this one. You will definitely want to keep reapplying flour to the bottom as well as the top. That way it doesn't get sticky, because if you do start like kneading it or anything, the flour will mix into the dough. The little small circles out, I did go ahead and put flour onto the cap as well. So let's see. All right, so now we're gonna bring the donuts over here to the stove and see what it says. Gently drop the donuts a little away from you in batches into the hot oil. There we go. So I actually have this little thing that I like to use when I'm frying stuff. I'm gonna take this. So the directions say, as they begin to puff, flip them over with metal tongs and continue to flip them a few more times as they cook. They will take about 2 to 3 minutes in total and will be a lovely golden brown color all over. On a timer or stopwatch and just let it go, and every 45 seconds I was flipping the donut up until it got to 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then I took them out. And then remove donuts from oil and set them on top of paper towels draped over a plate. And this is how they turned out. They're definitely bigger than the ones I gave you at Universal, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and take one donut. Take the green icing. I am just using decorative green icing from Publix. And I'm going to take my sprinkles and sprinkle just a few on top. Ooh, awesome. Here's my homemade pumpkin donut. These actually came out really good. I'm impressed with myself. If you're looking for something to do at home, I highly suggest checking out Universal Orlando's blog and making this recipe. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe below. See you guys later.